Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I am Chris, joined by my brothers Adam and Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to talk more about video games. And in this week's episode, we are actually going to do something a little bit different, which is we're going to spend the whole episode kind of answering quickfire questions, which we found. I found these posted around a few times, but I don't know what the original source for these is. But I found them on levelskip.com, and we'll put if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put the link down below so that you can have a look through yourself. But basically, it's kind of phrased as like 50 questions. We'll see if we get through all of them. But 50 questions that you should ask every gamer in order to kind of get to know them a bit better, or get to know what kind of gamer they are, what their interests are. I think it'd be really fun for us to go through them, and it's a chance for people to get to know us a bit better as gamers. Like, there's some question, like I haven't actually looked at all of them because I want there to be some element of spontaneity, but I saw some of them, and there's some of them where they're interesting questions, but we would never make a whole episode out of it. Do you know that way?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so it's a good opportunity to like bring it up and talk about it, but like it would never make a full episode. Now, some of them would make full episodes. So some of them we have already done full episodes on. I've seen, and so we'll just do like very briefly, like we'll say, yes, it's this. We've talked about it before, and you could check it out here. So if this is your first time listening to us, it might be a good way to get a directory of what episodes we might recommend to you if there's a certain one you'd like to hear us talk more about. And then there might be some where it's like, okay, I'm going to answer this briefly, but actually we would probably do a full episode on this at some point to talk about it in greater detail. Okay? Does that make sense?
Sweet. That makes sense.
I've talked a lot, but yeah, I want to burst straight into it. So these are 50 questions for every gamer. So, again,
in box number 3.
Item number 1. No, I'm joking. So
you won keys to a garage.
What are the lifelines for this game?
What are the lifelines? What do you mean?
Like, do I get to phone a friend?
You can ask phone a friend.
I think you can phone a brother. You can ask your brother. Or you can put it
phone
to the
it
audience.
in 50-50 a brother?
I was going to say you can phone it in. You can go, I have no answer to that question, maybe. Okay, question 1. And this is one that we have all answered before. However, Eric's answer might change. I don't. So, what I'll do is I'll ask it. Adam, you can answer first, then Eric, and then I'll give my answer before we move on to the next question. Right? And we'll do that for all of them. Okay, so question 1 in this pub discussion of games. What is your favorite game of all time?
Metal Gear Solid 1.
Metal Gear Solid. And we did a whole episode on that straight away. Oh, sorry, Eric, you're jumping straight in.
You say quickfire, man. You say quickfire questions.
Quickfire, but also there's room to.
That's a medium fire question.
Listen, there's room to let people know that we have an episode on it, and they can check it out if they're interested. I think.
All right. Sorry,
yes, we did a whole episode about Metal Gear Solid, and you could check it out. I can't remember which one it was actually. It's a while back. But yes.
Enjoy that.
It was June, wasn't it? We did it in June, so we did it last month.
No, it was even further back than that.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
Good while ago. Okay, so Eric, you actually said
The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3. We did not do a whole episode on that. We did a whole episode on a different game that you said was your favorite game.
Yeah, I said to change them, spicing things up.
Yeah, spicing shit up. Okay, times change, folks, and so do people.
Your favorite game of all time is The Witcher 3?
Yeah, why not?
You didn't even give that game of the decade.
Did I not?
It wasn't in the decade, was it?
No, it was. When we did the we did top 3 games of the decade. You gave it number 3. You didn't even put The Last of Us over it.
Yeah.
Man, you're like, I thought nobody was paying attention to what I say.
Yeah. I didn't know I
so
recorded.
Inconsistent. Okay, whatever. My favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. We did a whole episode on that. There's so much more we could say about it. At any opportunity, I will bring it up again. If you haven't played it, play it. It's the best game ever. Okay. That's not the question. It didn't say it was the best game. What's your favorite game? But it is also the best game. Okay. Question number 2. What's a game you thought you would like, but actually hated? Wow. You see, these are actually good. Some of them are really good.
How am I
I haven't seen them all.
Quick. What?
Yeah, how do you quick fire that one?
Hey, when I say quick fire, I don't mean you have to just go answer, go. Like as if we're trying to get off
what
this.
That means.
I know, but we're not trying to get off this as quick as possible. I just mean that we're not going to
Hated
do like.
is a strong word, though, isn't it?
I agree. Hated is a strong word.
I mean, like disappointed.
Yeah, I think you could bend it a little bit and just say.
I don't think you can, considering the
dislike
next question. I think it does have to be hated.
This guy's cheating. He knows the next
Oh,
question.
actually, I do know.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
You hated it.
Hated it.
Oh, God, well, yeah, it was fucking awful, like, wasn't it?
Oh, that's strong. I don't know if I hated it. I strongly disliked it, maybe, but purely because of my love for the series. But yeah,
Game I thought I would like, but I hated. I don't fucking know. It's either okay. It's between. Again, see, like I don't really hate a lot of games, so I'd say it'd have to be something like maybe like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Sekiro or something like that.
Sekiro. I'm really surprised you said. I thought you really liked that.
Oh, well, I thought I would really like it, and then it was like, this is not like the game I actually liked, and fuck me, I just want to get through it. So,
and then it turns out this year you got the game that you wanted Sekiro to be. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with hate is a very strong word, but I probably would go with the Phantom Pain as well. That is a game that I absolutely thought I would love. I was so excited for it. It was definitely my most anticipated game that year, and yeah, I don't even include it in the Metal Gear Solid saga for me. So yeah, hate strong, but I definitely strongly disliked it.
Yeah. It was bad.
What's a really popular game everyone seems to love, but you don't like? This is where we'll fall out with people. This is good. I like this. Okay.
I mean, I think I've fallen out with people with just the second question when I said Sekiro.
Yeah, Sekiro, yeah.
Because I got Game of the Year, like.
A few for me that would fall. I could answer here, but
yeah.
I'm gonna say like the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, any of those type of games.
Yeah. Okay.
Any battle royale. So Apex Legends, Fortnite,
the
Call of Duty Warzone, any of that sort of stuff. I just like you play it once, you pretty much got the concept. If you ever actually survive to be the last person on that island or whatever the hell, you've now completed the game. What the hell is the point in playing it? You've done it. Like there's no collectibles, there's no nothing. There's no alternate endings. You did it.
There's
so that's my thing.
There's a lot that other people like that I don't particularly like. I can agree with both of those. One of them in that I just don't really enjoy dying and over again. And the whole thing of get good is just not really my thing. Battle royales. Again, there's not much substance in them for me personally. I get the appeal. Again, for both of those, actually, I get the appeal. I get why people like them, but I don't. But I'm gonna go with like the Assassin's Creed series. I think I'm one of the few people that jumped off when it got popular, and that was Assassin's Creed 2. I didn't like. I liked the first one only like a little bit, but I found it like incredibly repetitive and got pretty bored of it pretty quickly. Like, I think I played through it once and I was pretty much done with it. And then I played like the start of Assassin's Creed 2, and I was like, I am so done with this already. And every time another one came out, I was like, I am exhausted by this series. Like, there's just one there's one every year. Like,
yeah,
it always seems like they're shipping unfinished games. And I know people love them, but I really don't like the Assassin's Creed series.
That's fair.
What's a game you didn't expect to enjoy, but ended up liking?
XCOM.
Oh wow, you're straight in. You didn't expect to enjoy that?
I mean, it was like the first one I played was on PlayStation Plus. I was like, okay, I'll download it, just play it. I didn't know what I was in for at all. I didn't know it was an overhead thing. I didn't know it was soldiers. I didn't know I was fighting aliens. I didn't know your soldiers could all die. I didn't know what the fuck I was in for. So I was just like, nah. That and Spec Ops: The Line was another one.
That's a good one. That's a good shout.
Yeah,
because that's one where you just expect it to be a very generic shooter.
Yeah, again, it was PlayStation
mind.
Plus, and it was amazing. So good. Very under the radar game.
Adam, game you didn't expect to enjoy but ended up liking.
Destiny.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
You
definitely
love that. Actually.
definitely something that like I really wasn't expecting. I'm not really into MMOs, first person shooters. Yeah, I occasionally jump in, etc. But yeah, I got hooked. I got hooked on Destiny.
Again, there's probably a few I could say, but I'm gonna go Until Dawn. I was in no way excited for that at all. I thought the trailer looked crap. Honestly, I was like, that looks like a terrible game. I don't see any reason to be excited for that at all. And it ended up being a game I really liked, and I've played many times, and I thought was way cleverer than I ever gave it any kind of credit. So I just credit for it, exactly. I wanted to give it a shout out. Until Dawn was one that really surprised me. What game have you spent the most amount of hours on?
Jesus.
Ironically, Adam, it's probably the Phantom Pain, is it?
Well, I think
joking.
no, on PS4 it would definitely be Destiny, I'd say. But you see, I don't know because I don't really, you know, there's no real way of like checking your overall play history and stuff like that. But just in terms of memory and how long I spent with it, I'm actually probably gonna say Metal Gear Solid 3 or Metal Gear Solid 4. One of those two, I think I probably spent a lot.
Does this include replays? Are we talking about like if you've replayed a game over and over again, like that's the most?
Oh yeah. How much? Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
How much time you spent with a game? It'd definitely be one of those two because like trying to get everything in those games, that takes a while.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Not to mention the amount of times you want to replay them because they're awesome as well. So.
I'd say it has to be for me like between Death Stranding and The Witcher 3. Just for Death Stranding is because that ending goes on forever.
That's a dig. That's not a fact. That's a little.
No, I actually enjoyed that. I just wanted to make that little joke. No, definitely The Witcher 3, considering how long that game is. Yeah. And then I like 100%ed it like 3 times when I played it. So definitely has to be The Witcher 3, like especially because they have the DLC and stuff that I played cleared multiple times.
Yeah. I think for me, it's very possibly, there's plenty of games I've replayed over and over again, but I think it could possibly be Skyrim. There was a lot of hours sunk into that in terms of doing all the side stuff, and then replaying the game and doing all the side stuff again, or more side stuff, you know.
And then doing it again, and then again.
And then again, so Skyrim is probably up there as one of the ones.
I genuinely think that do they still have a server that just generates random quests? Because the amount of times you just jump onto it, and stuff. Like, I'm just gonna like walk over to this little pond. Oh look, a big epic quest. There, here's a giant dragon to kill. It's like what?
Yeah, no, that's all built into the game.
That's actually the point of the game, though, to fight a dragon. But anyway.
Next question: if you had to marry the last video game character you played, who would it be? Does that mean the one you're currently playing or the last game you played? I don't know. I
would assume it'd be current. I think we're all marrying the same person here. And even if it was the last one, I think we're all still marrying the same person.
Yeah, okay. So imagine the last game that you played, which is like the last one you actually, you know, were
played and cleared.
No. I think you're right. I think it's the one like you're currently the last one you just played. So Jin Sake from
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Gotta say, I think he'd be a very honorable husband. I think he'd really look after you. I'd be fine with him as a husband.
He'd ask permission before he, does anything.
That's not where I was going with it all. I just thought he'd really like.
He will honorably, as an honorable samurai, he will look you in the eyes.
I don't know. He might ghost you.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Moving on.
Move along.
If you have to, this is similar. If you had to live in the world of the last game you played, what world would it be? So it would be
Tsushima.
I mean, that's a beautiful world.
Yeah, if it looked like that.
If you could avoid the Mongolians, it would be incredible.
Not a bad place to live. Yeah. And follow foxes and look at beautiful
and golden birds and take a little breather in some ponds, write some haikus. I mean, yeah, beautiful place.
It's not bad. And if the music plays as well out in the open, great. Okay. Have you ever had a crush on a video game character? Now, this is definitely something we would have never made an episode about, and definitely something we have never fucking asked each other. That's
No, actually. Well, actually, I could probably guess Eric's.
all right.
That might be
I
fun.
mean,
to
are we
try and
limited
guess
to
each
one
other's.
because?
Try and guess. Wait. Who do you think is Eric's? I don't have a clue.
I'm gonna guess. Well, actually, it could be a few, but I'm gonna guess. What's your one from Mass Effect 2?
Oh, Miranda?
Yeah.
No.
Would I be right?
So, would you be right?
I mean, at the time, sure.
That's what it means. Have you ever had a crush on a video game character? So it's
I
like,
mean, like, let's be honest here, guys. Like Tifa and Aerith, just from Final Fantasy VII alone.
well, no, not when there were polygons. I have to say, I didn't
No,
feel
no, no,
much
I
of a
mean
physical
it's a
attraction.
Especially when there were triangles.
Oh, so
like Lara Croft. Surely we've had a crush on Lara Croft.
No, you tell me. I'm asking you. You don't tell
No,
me.
no, well, I thought we were doing a guessing thing. I thought we were just going to discuss this and all just unilaterally agree on whatever I say. That sounds about right.
So, yeah, who wants to go first?
Yeah, probably Lara or Tifa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird because you see, the thing is with like Lara and Tifa, it's not because of the game, but rather depictions of them outside of games. Whether it's artwork or cartoon or even Tifa's portrayal in Advent Children, stuff like that. So it's like it's more than just the game in which they're portrayed.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna show. I only had like one or two. Nina and Anna from Tekken. Yuna from Final, and Riku as well from Final Fantasy X and X-2. Lulu actually Final Fantasy X as well.
List.
There's a whole slew of waifus.
Ivy from Soul Calibur.
No, I didn't really like her, I have to say. She was scary. I'm joking. Okay, what was the first game you ever remember playing? This is a good one.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I recollect nothing from before yesterday.
First game I remember playing.
For me, it's gotta be Super Mario on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have a Game Boy Advance?
No, you had a Game Boy
Yeah, it
Advance.
wasn't his.
I definitely did have a Game Boy Advance.
No, Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. Sorry, it was advanced for the time though.
That it was, Eric. That it was. Jesus, I can't remember. Maybe Abe's Odyssey on PS1.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't remember. Did I play that, or was I playing arcade games first? Because then it would be maybe Marvel versus Capcom in the arcade.
Yeah.
So it's one of those two.
Jeez, those games are older than I thought. Then.
Huh?
The fuck you saying, Eric?
What'd you say? Did you say we're older than you thought, or?
Are older than I thought.
Yeah, it's not. You're not were. You are. You are old. I see. I watched a lot of games before, so I had an exposure to certain games. So there's certain games where I go, well, that's the first one, but I didn't actually play it. I think the first game that I can remember physically playing is probably like a racing one. I think it's either Crash Team Racing or Hot Wheels Turbo Racing.
Oh, Hot Wheels. What a game.
What a game. That introduced me to Metallica. So shout out to Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Give me fuel, give me fire.
Give me dabba dire.
Doobie dire. Have you ever pretended to be sick to get out of something so that you can play a game?
Yes.
Have you really?
Yeah. Well, actually, I can't remember. No, wait. I was actually sick.
Yeah,
at least that's the story I'm going with. No,
yeah, I had.
Yeah, no, I say I did. I definitely did. Definitely did. I remember when San Andreas came out, I was actually sick, and I got to a week out to play it. But I think I also possibly pretended, like I was feeling a bit ill, but I think I talked it up, like as in I could function.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I just
really
you
wanted
know,
to play
there was
San Andreas.
definitely a fever there, enough to kind of back up my claim in order to stay home and play Snake Eater.
I used to be awesome at fake and sick.
Yeah, I remember. I used to try that, and I always failed.
I was really good at it. I was able to literally change my body temperature and really act it up. Like there was loads
That's
of
a weird
times.
superpower.
There was loads of times I went home early from school, totally faking it, which is terrible. I don't recommend doing it to people, but yeah. Eric, did you ever pretend to be sick to get out of something so that you could play a game instead?
Not that I remember. I remember pretending to be sick so I can leave school, but not for the specific reason to play a video game. Although I would have went and played a video game. But
yes, yeah. I'm probably the same. Like I definitely pretended to be sick, but I don't remember doing it specifically so that I could play a game. I was going to book a holiday from work to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then I didn't have to because the lockdown happened and work was closed anyway. But I was planning on booking that off totally, just because I was like, there's no way I'm sitting at home and waiting to get home to play it, or sitting at work and waiting to get home to play it. That's not happening. But yeah, I don't think I ever pretend to be. I was actually not sick. I had sprained my ankle, and I spent a week playing Tekken 5, which I had rented. We had rented from Extravision, which was around at the time. You could rent games. It was great. And I played all of Tekken 5 that week. Had a great time. What game did you last complete?
Well, must be The Last of Us 2.
Last of Us Part 2 was the last game we last completed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
okay. What game are you playing right now?
Ghost of
Tsushima.
And before we move on, how are people finding Ghost of Tsushima?
Amazing.
That's it? That's all you got?
Well, I could go on for ages with it. Like,
go on a little bit then. Go on a little bit while we can.
Right. I think this is actually...
Because we haven't talked about it yet.
No.
We haven't actually mentioned Ghost of Tsushima yet, and we are all playing it.
I was looking forward to it. I absolutely was, but it was kind of more than I thought it was going to be. I think this is the closest thing that PlayStation has to, like, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Right, okay, yeah.
Like, it's so beautiful, but there's so much to do in it as well.
Yeah.
You know? I'm never bored playing it.
No. There's like I definitely, while playing it, feel like no matter amount the hours I've played of it, it's never a satisfying amount of hours.
Yeah, it's hard to put down. Yeah, very hard to put down.
It's been so long since I've actually, well, it feels like it's been a while since I've had a game that gave me that feeling again, which is great. Yeah, I think like we said earlier, because we mentioned Sekiro, like for ages I've been waiting for that samurai game where I can actually feel like a samurai and not an idiot who gets killed all the time.
Okay.
Because most games set in Japan, so the samurai, who are these legendary warriors who can kick ass all the time, they're like the cowboys of awesome times, and you always just die all the time. They're all really hard, and it makes no sense. It's like, why are you having this legendary warrior be shit? So now it's great.
In their defense, he is one-handed, isn't he? In his defense.
Sekiro? Yeah, but he's got a fucking side axe that could turn into a goddamn firecracker dispenser, turn into a spear that could no, in his defense, he sucks.
Well said, Eric. Well articulated.
Like even with Neo's really hard, Ninja Gaiden's really hard, Shadow Warrior looks fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like none of them give you the same satisfaction, open world, and beautiful exploration and landscape that Ghost of Tsushima gives you. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's odd that it took this long to get this type of game, I think.
Yeah,
it
is. Like just the moment when you first do a standoff was just amazing. Like, you know, and you call out to the Mongols and you're like, come on, someone face me, and they just go up and you're just ready holding the sword. They go for a strike, just release it, and you just slice them open. It's like, I'm a samurai right now. This is awesome.
Your passion towards liking something and your passion towards hating something are both the exact same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah, it's really hard to tell how you feel about anything. I was saying to Adam the other day, I actually at the start of the game, like I liked the how it started, And then as soon as the title came up and I was in the open world, I wasn't feeling it. And I was like, why am I not feeling this? Because everyone else does. And then it took a little bit of time, but now I really feel it. And every time I do a mission and it comes up with the writing and the name underneath, and like I just feel like you can do a collection of side quests, and it's like you've just played a mini game. I feel like when you do the Skyrim side quests again, where I'm like, the side quests of this are actually really good and compelling, like really compelling. And the moment where I was like, this is absolutely awesome. Like apart from the visuals and stuff and the customization and everything, that's all great. That's really, I'm getting really into all that and the stat points and stuff. But without spoiling any specifics, because we will do a full episode on Ghost of Tsushima, that is definitely coming. We're definitely going to want to talk about it. But the Heavenly Strike mission.
Yes. Yeah.
That was when I went, this is unreal. This is actually unreal. That was so epic. So yes, enjoying Ghost of Tsushima, playing it at the moment, and we will be doing a full podcast episode dedicated to discussing Ghost of Tsushima. So, what game do you want to play next? Ghost of Tsushima. I suppose this is really so.
Do it again.
After you've completed Ghost of Tsushima, what's like the next new game you're going to move on to?
New game?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose so, because... Or you could just say there's a certain game that I want to go back to.
I was actually trying to sign up to Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having issues setting up an account with that, so I might just...
Eric wanted to do that ages ago.
Yeah, I might just leave it. It's just that it's on Game Pass now, so I was able to download it, and I thought, like, definitely giving it a go, but yeah, I'm having serious issues setting up an account, so I might just continue after Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, hard to know. Depends on how I feel. I might jump into the Master Chief Collection of Halo.
Cool. How about you, Eric?
Either like completely new, haven't played it before, either Resi 3 or Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah. In terms of the very next thing I'll probably play that I haven't fully played before. I played some of it, but I haven't actually fully played it. I downloaded Rise of the Tomb Raider from the.
Oh, okay.
I never finished that. I played some of it, but I never actually got the full experience. So I might actually jump into that and play all that. Like I know that I prefer. Like it's the reason I didn't finish it actually was that I really loved the first one and didn't feel the same love in the second one. But I kind of want to experience the whole thing. But in terms of a new game that's going to come out, the next one I probably will play is probably Avengers. I don't think it's going to be up to the same. Personally, I don't think it's going to be up to the same quality of the other three games that I've played so far this year that I was more excited for. But I think it could be a lot of fun, and I think Square Enix make great games. So I'm a little bit more hopeful for it than the people who seem to be bashing it online. I don't think it's as terrible as people are giving it a hard time over, but we'll see. Oh, this is divisive. In your opinion, what is the best games console?
Like at the moment or through history?
I don't know. I suppose it's how you interpret that question, I guess.
I mean, yeah, because you're saying best, and you're not necessarily asking for favorite.
But I mean, so yeah, you could go, okay, well, I think technically the best is this, but it wouldn't be my favorite if you wanted. Or you could go, well, my favorite one is the best one. You know.
I mean, my favorite would be PlayStation because I grew up with it. I'm familiar with it.
Which one though?
Oh,
that's kind of how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah, I think it's a specific console. I don't think.
Oh, well, then it would be PS3 for me.
Okay. Is that down to the capabilities of the console itself, or the range of games it had?
Yes.
Okay, good talk, bro. Yeah. Yes, both of those.
Both of those, yes.
What is the best games console?
I mean, technically.
I mean, it's. I mean, if we're saying currently, I would say the PS4. Throughout history.
It would have to be the typewriter.
The chessboard.
Blackgammon.
Backgammon. It's called backgammon. It's not called blackgammon.
Why not? Why can't it be called Blackgammon?
It's because it's called backgammon. That's the name of the game.
Anyway, that game. Class.
I don't know, actually. It's hard to answer, isn't it? Because it's such an old, like,
yeah, but
I
it
mean,
says
okay.
In your opinion.
Currently PS4.
Okay. I'm gonna probably yeah. I mean, most of them work well, you know, and you could get into the technicalities of it if you want. But for me, the reason to have a console is the games you can play on it. Like, you can have all the features in the world, but if there's no good games, then it doesn't really matter. And I think for me, the PlayStation 3 probably had the best full collection of games. So I'm gonna say the PS3, and I thought the design of it was awesome. But as I think the Nintendo Switch in terms of functionality and design was a really fucking cool one. That stood out to me a lot. I'd be tempted to get one. I haven't got one, but
it's real class. It's really good.
Are PC gamers really superior to console gamers?
No.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
They're
better gamers.
I do think because PC gamers are probably more likely to be more savvy than console gamers.
Okay.
As in they would be more finicky about things like, you know, high frame rates, anti-aliasing, ray tracing, all like these really nitpicky details that they.
You think that could make them like better game critics in a way? That they'd look out for that kind of stuff?
Okay, they could be superior game critics. Right. But I don't think that says anything about your ability to be able to play a game, because, yeah, you could always say that, well, PC gamers, like all the pro gamers, are PC.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because, you know, if you want the highest accuracy in, let's say it's a competitive shooter, you're going to use a mouse because you can move your reticle quicker with a mouse than you can with a controller. But these are all on a level playing field if you all use a controller.
Yes, yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, you know, just because you're really good on PC, are you the best on the console? So no, I don't think it makes you a superior player, but I do think you're probably more likely to be savvy than a console player.
What's your take on it, Eric?
Well, I'd say no, because like any real conversation I've ever had with people, they always bring up frame rate. And for me, it's kind of like, well, that's not the biggest and most defining thing about any game, but they will always bring it up.
Okay.
Frame rate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the new Unreal Engine that was announced a few months ago, and like the graphics were amazing and everything. I was talking to someone, and they were like, yeah, but the frame rate was only like 60 frames per second or something. I'm like, yeah, but the graphics were really good, and to him it didn't matter. It didn't matter what this engine could do. It didn't matter what it looked like. It was 60 frames. That was it. So I find they have actually massive underappreciation for games, because right. Even their biggest point as well to why they think PC is better is like, yeah, but I can mod it. It's like, right. So you're just getting this masterpiece that these people made and then changed it. So you're not actually appreciating the game that these people made. Well, if you're a console gamer, you can, because you are stuck with that. You can't mod it and change it.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of
fair enough. For me, actually, I have had this discussion before, but for me, it's like, who's superior, a drummer or a guitarist? You know, different instruments, so it doesn't matter. What's your opinion on Fortnite? Is the next question. That's a weird question.
That's a very specific one.
I think it's in there.
Like, what's your opinion on any game?
No. Right? Well, I think the reason it's in here is because I think Fortnite does get a lot of bash.
Does it?
Because it really does. Like, that's why it's in here. Yeah. It's in here. Like, some of the questions in here, they're very topical. Things like, are PC gamers superior to console players? It's because a lot of PC gamers think they are.
Right.
What's your opinion on Fortnite? Well, a lot of gamers, like, who think they're real gamers, don't play Fortnite.
Well, we don't.
My opinion on Fortnite is genius. The fact that, like, not EA, Epic Games were were able to come up with what was a failing project and then turn it around and release this battle royale and essentially invent a whole, like, well, they didn't invent, but they pioneered, I suppose, a whole kind of genre of gaming. You know, like everyone wants a piece of like Fortnite pie. Fortnite in the games industry is like fucking Enter Sandman is to the metal world, right? A lot of metalers hate Enter Sandman, but what they're gonna, I'm sure Metallica are crying all the way to the bank. You know what I mean? It's like every game studio would love to have a Fortnite.
What I said.
And you know, a lot of people are enjoying it too. You know, a lot of people are enjoying it, and you can play it on any platform. And I think it gets people into games. It makes games more widely accepted. Yeah, I think ultimately it's good for the games industry, Fortnite. Yeah, although I don't enjoy it, it's not my thing. I would never shit on anyone who enjoys Fortnite.
Cool. Here comes Eric now to shit on everyone who like. No, I just
to do the complete opposite.
No, I agree with you, Adam. It was a brilliant idea. Lots of people did jump on it. Lots of people did play it, and there's like competitions with Fortnite now. It has created a massive community and everything, and bonded people together. But again, you play it once and you've played it. So yeah, like, you know what I mean, if they all want to waste their time until like 4 o'clock in the morning,
that's what they like,
do
Eric.
the same thing.
You like Ghost of Tsushima, some people might not like that.
Yeah, well, they're wrong. No, like, again, it creates a massive community, and yeah, like Adam said, like, you can play it on like every console, like you know, like I'm saying like a lot in this. Yeah,
you like.
But yeah, I just don't like it because it's just it's boring to me. But
yeah. This is kind of a non-answer, but like, what's your opinion on Fortnite? I kind of don't have an opinion of it, to be honest. Like, I could take it. I don't care for it. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I just don't care for it. It's just not for me.
Answer.
And also, for the record, Enter Sandman is a fucking great song.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's a fucking great song.
It does get shot on.
Yeah, why? It's fucking great. Have you ever watched a Twitch stream?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I have. I've watched some people I know, but most of the time on Twitch, I have to say I haven't watched a gamer. I've been watching Matt Heafy of Trivium. Yeah. I watch a lot of his, and I enjoy some of his renditions of songs, but also just his the way he talks to fans. I think he's really cool.
Yeah, funny enough, actually, when he plays a game, that's when I switch off.
Yeah, I never watch it for
no,
which is kind of weird in a way.
Well, I guess I just don't. I'm not really that interested in watching people play a game when I can go play it.
Yeah, I am. So it depends on what it is. I do like hearing people's thoughts and reactions to games and stuff.
Yeah.
But for him, I'm more interested in his music career. So.
Yeah.
Have you ever streamed yourself on Twitch or YouTube?
No.
No, I haven't either. I've never done any kind of live stream.
I hate looking at myself. So, like, this thing is killing me. Because I just see my little face in the box there, and it's driving me fucking mental. I hate looking at my own face.
Think about how we feel.
Yeah, we have to look at your face. I have to edit this and look at your face a lot. Have you ever used a walkthrough?
Yes.
Yes. What have you used it for that you could think of? What's the first thing?
Everything.
I think I used it for The Last of Us Part 2 while I was playing it, like through the first go. Because I was like, I really want to open all these safes, but I don't know, like, some of them were confusing me with the codes. So I would just look it up. And the first thing I noticed was like, okay, this is really handy that there's a walkthrough for these saves. But fuck me, this is ridiculous that there's a walkthrough for all these saves. Like, so quickly. Because I think it was like the second or third day or something it was out. I
used one for Final Fantasy 7 and I used one for Final Fantasy 10. In terms of getting tips and tricks on certain bosses and stuff.
I've used walkthroughs for
every game.
Nearly every game, I suppose. Especially when I'm trying to collect things, you know.
I think they're always good for your second playthrough.
Yeah, like I never use a walkthrough in my first go.
I usually don't. No.
They were really good for Uncharted.
Yeah,
getting all the treasures.
figure out what the treasures are. Same with Last, I was trying to figure out where all the stuff is. Metal Gear, trying to like Snake Eater, trying to find all the frogs to shoot and stuff. So yeah, I've used walkthroughs before.
What's the best weapon you've ever used in a game?
Okay.
I mean, there's loads, right? There's loads that you enjoy, but like, what's one that maybe comes to mind? You might, like Eric, you might change your mind on this every time we record.
Yeah, might do.
Yeah.
That's a toughie.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah,
because I know
Yeah.
mine is the Lancer from Gears of War.
I was just about to say that.
Because I enjoy shooting mechanics, but the fact that I enjoy melee weapons too, but the fact that you can automatically go from shooting to melee combat, but in the most brutal way, especially when you're just killing these horrible monsters and you just get really in the mood to go, fuck you, you know, and you're playing, or if you're playing co-op with a friend and you're both doing it, and I always remember that scene where you're going through like this giant worm and you're cutting the arteries of it and everything, and I was like, this is just sick. Like, okay, there's weapons like the Buster Sword and stuff as well. I will always have a love for them. But in terms of actually using it in gameplay, the Lancer is one that I was just like, this is ingenious. And it felt like one of the weapons from like the Warhammer Space Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of one of those. So I was big into them at the time.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because I was thinking of like the BFG from Doom, which is always fun. Then I was thinking about the chainsaw, and that kind of like led me back to like the feeling of using the Lancer. For me, like the best weapon is always like something that gives you that reaction. You know, when you use it, you go, "Oh my god, that was so good."
Yeah.
So yeah, probably the Lancer.
I still haven't landed on one. I am, to be honest though, I keep juggling between Kratos' weapons from God of War.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're like, yeah, there's a satisfaction if you got all these enemies coming at you, and then like.
Oh, do you prefer his swords to his Leviathan axe?
See, I don't. Yeah, I'm debating that. I don't know, because the Leviathan axe is
super satisfying.
It's satisfying. The throwing it and calling it back to you, the hacking, the new style of brutal gameplay with it. But I think it's really interesting because when I see the axe, I just think the axe is a more brutal weapon to use. But Kratos seems kind of a little bit more calm and collected in God of War 7, whichever one this one is. Then when you're using the swords, it's just so satisfying. All these enemies are trying to get close to you, and you're just using these chain swords to keep them at bay. But I think I'll go with the axe because it's better, like modeled. The design is awesome. The satisfaction of calling it back. Yeah, I'll go Kratos' Leviathan axe. It's a pretty satisfying weapon.
Have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary?
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loads of times. The last time I had to do it, like as in this year, was playing Resi 2. And there was times I was on my own in the police station, and I was definitely like, I'm really stressed right now. I'm going to just save and turn this off. Actually, no, sorry. There was moments in The Last of Us 2 as well, where I went, not now. I'm going to bed. This is too late, and I'm kind of scared. So The Last of Us 2 actually was probably the last time I did it. But just loads. PT.
But was there any game?
Until Dawn. Loads. Outlast.
Was there any game too scary for you to complete?
Yeah. Loads. But one that jumps to mind, like we did complete it, but I would never have done it on my own. Like I was playing it with my friends, and we played it for the whole night, and I actually played it the least, so I have to give more credit. Like they completed it really. I did some parts of it, but Outlast scared the shit out of me. Alien Isolation, didn't do it.
Yeah,
for me it's Alien Isolation. I had to nope the shit out of that, and I've still never cleared it.
Dying to.
Never cleared it. I think just because it was too long. I just got to the point where I was a little bit like, I did.
You're hardcore, bro. You're hardcore.
It was knowing that. It was like, Jesus Christ, I have to do 22 hours of this?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
I did kind of nope it because at one point I was in a vent in Alien Isolation. I was going to use Alien Isolation as well. Outlast is another one. I would never play at that because that's way too scary. But with Alien Isolation, I was in a vent trying to learn the aliens' movement pattern, and there was also an android. And I was like, right, I will learn the android's movement pattern as well. I was just sitting there watching for ages. I was like, okay, I think I'm getting this. I think I'm getting the rhythm. And finally, when I decided to move, I just heard the thumping in the vent, and I was like, ooh, I'll stand still, wait for her to go away. And then, just around the corner comes Alien, and I went, all right, well, I'm gonna burn this bitch. So I took out my flamethrower, shoot some fire at it, and like usually I had to do like 2 spurts of fire at her, and then she'd go away. But
spurts of fire is not the right. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I looked up in the source. Anyway, but because I used the flamethrower on the alien so often, it didn't affect her. Yeah, it didn't affect her. Yeah. So she just kind of shrugged off a bit, and I was like, all right, she's gone. So I put the flamethrower down, and then she just leapt at me, and then just killed me with her mouth. It's horrible.
She is scary.
Yeah.
This question was actually written for Eric, probably, I think. So me and you might as well just take a second. Has a game's storyline ever made you cry?
Hold on now. Come on. Have you two not teared up The Last of Us?
No. Adam, have you ever teared up or cried playing a game?
I think, well, for Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think brought tears of joy, not...
Yeah, it's a different thing.
As a game storyline ever made you cry? No.
I just before Eric goes, game's storyline, no, has never made me cry. I've certainly felt for moments and stuff. I have no memory of ever actually crying or even tearing up playing a game. I think I came close one time, and it could have been because there was a lot of stuff going on, I think, but I was playing Final Fantasy X at one point, and I think there was quite an emotional sequence later on. And it might have felt close, but no, I've never cried playing a game. Yeah. Okay, Eric, do you want to list off the many times? And this is not you actually, because in our episodes before, like you have said, like when we talked about games, it's like, oh, I teared up when I played that, or oh, I teared up so much.
Yeah, I've mentioned it a few times. For an emotional reason, Uncharted 4, just on the idea of like Drake losing Elena and all that sort of stuff. So I teared up with that. I somehow bawled my eyes out at Journey. That
Brilliant.
Doesn't even have a fucking story.
Like that is wonderful actually. That's a wonderful example of a game storyline making you cry when like the story is quite interpretive. Yeah. Like that's incredible.
It was when he was on the snowy peak.
I know the moment.
And he was dying. Yeah.
My reaction was, this is fucking cool, but that's it.
I was. Yeah.
I did actually almost
the mortality thing.
I think studios should hire Eric as a QA tester when they're making like emotional games. Stuff. On emotional stuff, definitely.
Yeah. I did get choked up a little bit on a game related topic, which was I remember watching the documentary making of Uncharted 4.
Oh,
and one of which I think was the game director, Bruce Straley, who left after making that, was talking about this moment, which is them doing the mechanic of like there's near the end where you're heading towards the ship.
Okay.
And you're doing vines and you're jumping and stuff like that, right? And there's a moment where you jump. And him telling the story, he was choking up, right? And that man, that gets me. But he's talking about like that's the last jump Nathan Drake will ever do. And it was like then just the sudden realization that I've just played it and did it, and that I'll never get to do that again.
You guys are losers. I'm only joking.
Last of Us,
but also
losers. Last of Us. The main one.
Going? I was gonna move on. What's the main one? Sorry, go on.
The main one, fucking balling like a bitch. All right, was Valiant Hearts.
Oh right,
okay.
The Great War.
My eyes. Yeah, I ball my eyes out. I will not. I do actually recommend playing that. That's actually a great story. It's such a good one.
Tearjerker.
Just a tad.
You should rate games like I give it 10 tears out of Tearjerker or something like that. Like that's how you should rate games.
No. I can never give it 10.
Oh yeah.
It only gets 9.5 of a tier.
What this is obviously related to like RPGs and stuff, I think. But what's your favorite fighting class? Warrior, mage, or rogue, and why?
Warrior.
I'm usually warrior or rogue. I mage. I'm never. I enjoy the stealth gameplay of rogue, but I think I always have more fun if I can run in and slash the shit out of stuff, and that's very apparent in the fact that my favorite weapon is a lancer. I enjoy the buster sword, and when I play Skyrim, I always go for the big two-handed weapon. So I think warrior. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, because we grew up loving like Aragorn and stuff. So like, that's the character we want to be when we're playing an RPG.
Actually, interesting enough, when it comes to Destiny, I went for the mage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hated.
Between the three offerings there.
Actually, I went for the hunter with that one.
And I suppose in Elder Scrolls, I always went like half warrior, half mage. So, like, I'm kind of between the two. But just thinking about like if it was just exclusively, I would go warrior, just because I think you have a better shot.
What's your favorite game genre?
Just action adventure.
Yeah, action adventure.
Yeah, I'd probably say action adventure too. I mean, that includes a lot of games. So
yeah,
that encompasses so much.
It encompasses pretty much all the games I like, nearly. Do you prefer multiplayer games or to go solo?
Solo.
Yeah, I mean, co-op is really fun and all, but majority of the time, I would rather the game was solo. Majority of them I played the game solo, but the really disappointing thing about games this generation was that not enough of them actually had co-op. Mm-hmm. So I think we can all agree like we're all mainly solo players, but it would have been nice to sit on a couch, eat some Doritos, drink some cans of Coke, and chainsaw some people for this generation.
Yeah,
that'd have been nice.
Yeah, I prefer solo games too. Do you prefer co-op or player versus player?
Co-op.
Co-op.
Do you have a particular favorite co-op memory? Briefly.
Probably Gears, actually.
Yeah, mine was Gears 2 as well. I was playing with Lee, and that memory of cutting through that worm, unreal.
Halo 3 with my cousin Kieran.
Excellent.
That's not a good one.
What is this will be very telling of the fact that Adam had stuff and me and Eric just used his stuff. What is the first console you ever owned?
PlayStation 1.
Nintendo Switch.
PlayStation 4. Yeah. But we played all the other ones.
That's not true.
Oh, sorry. We all owned the PS3.
PlayStation 3. Yeah,
actually, we
all
owned that.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it just meant like that we collectively owned.
Yeah. I kind of the way I took it was the one that you kind of solely owned.
Yeah.
I did know. Yeah, the one that's like I actually went and kind of bought that myself.
Well, if I'm going to talk about a console I bought myself,
all right,
it would be PS4.
Yeah. Okay.
Or actually, no, it would have been probably the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Xbox 360. Same with you, Eric, isn't it? You bought the Xbox 360.
But I bought
you bought the Wii as well. You bought the Wii as well.
Oh, yeah. Then it would have been Wii.
Yeah.
The first one I bought. No, sorry, the Game Boy Color was the first one I bought. Jesus, I have to really dive back into history.
The advanced console.
This will be only Adam will have something interesting to say here. What or who got you into video games in the first place? So Adam got me into video games in the first place.
Adam got me into video games. We're all counting on you.
It better be interesting.
I think it would have been Tomb Raider.
You just really liked her guns.
Was the game? That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, two fantastic.
Did you see a poster or a trailer of it or something? Or just like,
I saw the game. It would have been my neighbor who had a PlayStation 1 and played Tomb Raider there. So.
Also introduced to Tekken there. Shout out Tekken. What is the longest amount of time you have sat playing games nonstop? I mean, I don't know, but maybe a rough estimate, or even a game that you can say, "Oh, that's a game I remember playing the longest nonstop."
In a day, or
I think so. Yeah, this means like, or it could be multiple days if you had pulled all-nighters and you wanted to fucking marathon this shit
okay.
Actually, I do know that actually.
in one set.
Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember I was staying at my friend Corey's, and we had just it was in GameStop they had the Xbox 360 set up with King Kong in it, and I remember we were kind of blown away by it, and we then rented it on PlayStation 2, went back to Corey's, and then I was like, okay, he said I could go first, I could play it first, and then if I die, then hand him the controller, or after a certain amount of deaths or something, hand him the controller. So he never got the controller, and I cleared the whole game in that one night. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Was he happy about it?
No, he wasn't. He still brings that
up. Brilliant. Eric, do you remember one? Or?
I mean, if we remember me back in early PS3 days, when I get up to when I went to sleep, so that was about 14 hours.
Nice. Was there a particular game that you remember playing the longest?
Every single PS3 game.
Okay.
And Xbox 360 game.
I'm gonna say Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Adam.
I remember you spending so much on Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2 is one that came to mind for me. I spent a week playing that game. I did go to sleep, but every day that's pretty much what I did for the whole day. But I think actually in one sitting, whichever Metal Gear Solid takes the longest to play, because I'm pretty sure I said this to you before, myself and my friends Danny and Lee, we kind of marathon Metal Gear Solid where every week we'd meet up and spend the whole day and night until we completed the game in one sit. So which I think Metal Gear Solid 3 took the longest actually, because there's a few more options of things to do and stuff. This was only 1 to 4, by the way. So I think that one, or if Outlast takes longer, Outlast, because we did that all in one night as well. This is a weird one. If video games didn't exist anymore, what would you do?
Everything else that I do.
Yeah, we'd probably have a podcast about movies.
Probably.
Because we talk about movies just as much, to be honest. And also
but imagine it as a pastime. I'd probably either do more tabletop gaming or more I play guitar more, I suppose.
Okay.
I'd probably
something you do more.
Yeah, I'd invent the console, and then I would just start playing those games I invented.
Good one, man. I'd probably do more music, to be honest.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? Oh, speaking of music, what is your favorite song from a game?
Probably the best is yet to come from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, class, man.
I can't answer this question. I haven't a clue. There's so many.
Yeah, because
favorite song from a game.
Song. Are they actually talking about song
with
lyrics
or yeah,
like score music?
Score? I don't know.
Because like Mass Effect 3 has a fucking
incredible soundtrack.
Incredible soundtrack. The suicide mission at the end of Mass Effect 2 is incredible as well. Skyrim's main theme is incredible. In fact, that's a song. That's a good song. It's got words.
The Dragonborn?
Yeah, that's got words and stuff. That's cool.
If it's an actual song with like a structure and like lyrics and stuff, that's not actually a piece of score. I'm gonna go with Ludens from Death Stranding, because I like that outside of the world of gaming too. Like, it was written for the game, it's in the game, but I fucking love that song. It pumps me up every time. So I'll go with that for the moment. But just like, there's scores that I prefer to that. Do you know what I mean? But that's a whole other topic. We should do an episode on that at some point. Like favorite video game soundtrack. That would be good. That'd be difficult. Okay, have you ever have you ever wanted to live in a world from a game? If so, which one and why?
I mean, the first thing that came to my head was Sims, because that'd almost be like real life. But then I just realized that whoever was controlling me would just block me in my house and then burn it down, and then I'd become a ghost haunting the house. That would suck. So that's Sims, that's for sure.
That's for sure. I gotta tell you. I never even considered Sims as a fucking option. Oh god. I wanted to live in a world from a game. Well, actually, if I was to answer that first part, no. I have never wanted to live in a game from a world. I love seeing game worlds. I love visiting them from the safety of my own home. But I have never sat up at night and gone, man, I wish I lived in that world instead of the one I live in. And that's never happened to me.
If you think about it, if you live in the world of, like, let's say GTA, you're already living in that world, like, that's just real life.
It's a much more extreme version of the world you're in.
Yeah, but you're not going to get run over. You live in Ireland. They live in America. I mean, if you take Uncharted, I mean, you're still the same world, like, you don't have to deal with any of the monsters or treasures or anything like that.
I think, though, with Game World, you'd have to be, like, at that particular place as well that they're showing you. Do you know what I mean? So, like, say if you picked one of the Uncharted games, you'd have to pick one of the locations or something.
I will choose, although this is multiple worlds, Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. In fairness,
you have to be on a ship.
I'm cheating a little here.
Cheating. What's he gonna say?
Lord of the Rings games.
So you can be in Middle Earth.
Well, I can be in Middle Earth.
I mean, it's pretty beautiful, but it's also pretty horrific. Like.
Or I suppose it's not. What's the world? Skyrim, Cyrodiil, etc. Tamriel. Because there have been so much moments, like when I'm playing Skyrim VR, like there are moments where I'm just sitting there, just soaking it all in, going, "Fuck, it'd be so cool to be here."
Right. Yeah. I suppose even if you could just visit it.
Yeah. So it will be one of those two, Tamriel or Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Class.
I mean, I suppose
I'd love to walk the streets of Minas Tirith.
I suppose all game worlds are going to be dangerous and horrible because a game usually has challenges and stuff. But yeah, for that kind of just taking in the visuals and seeing it, I'm going to go with Spira.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I just think that, like, imagine swimming on the beaches of Besaid, like, that'd just be unreal. Which video game character do you most wish you were like?
Cloud. Because he's just so not interested.
and I'm so interested, and I so wish I wasn't. I so wish I could play a game and never ever have a tear.
Oh well, like.
Oh, is Cloud is that your actual answer or?
No, well, actually, I would like to be Cloud. He's pretty cool. He's a cool guy. He drives a motorbike, got a sword. He's cool. But I'm Nathan Drake. Because I've based myself off Nathan Drake. So.
Right.
Him.
That's a weird question, isn't it?
It is a weird question. Like, who do you like? I don't necessarily look up to those kinds of fictional characters. I don't think really. But if I had to pick one, like, yeah, I mean, I could go for someone to be so they could be cooler and stuff. But in reality, in the world I live in, I'd probably wish I was more like Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Like, just, I she's like a real kind of hero, which is, putting others before yourself and never really showing weakness. And
that's some deep shit there, man. Some deep stuff.
Yuna doesn't get enough credit in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't really answer that. There's none I wish I was like. So.
Sure. What's a game you've spent the most amount of money on? I imagine if you play a game with like microtransactions and stuff, like this one would be, this could be very different for different people,
Probably Doom Eternal.
Oh, okay.
Because I got the collector's edition.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most I spent on the game.
probably to collect the special edition of Ghost of Tsushima, considering PS4 games are more expensive than PS3 games, and that was about €80. So, no, sorry, it was 160 because I bought you one as well.
That's right, actually, you did. Yeah, you have spent the most on Ghost of Tsushima. Final Fantasy VII is the game I've spent the most amount of money on. I have bought that same game multiple times on the PS3, on the PS4. I've bought the PS1 one. I've nothing to play it on. I bought the PS Classic just to play that game. I bought it on my phone. It's the game I've spent the most amount of money on. If you could have one power of any video game character, who would it be?
One power.
I mean, some of those powers are a bit like, because like let's say you went for like the Dragonborn from Skyrim, then there's no dragons, so
it's like do you get to bring them with you? You don't want that.
Which you just terrorize. If you take like Delsin Rowe from Infamous Second Son, his power is to take other superheroes' powers or super people's powers. There's no super people on our world, so that's useless.
Right. So maybe pick one that would be somewhat useful.
I mean,
why don't you try that for a second?
I've just created discussion here. Cole McGrath's from Infamous 1 and 2 would actually be pretty handy. If you have a power outage, you just shoot lightning into your light bulb, and now it's on. There you go. Awesome. You can charge your phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's practical.
It's pretty practical, if the battery in your car goes, you could just use your hands to jumpstart it.
Brilliant. Yeah. Sure, I'm missing or not, like the one that came to mind was Spider-Man.
I mean, that's a cool power, right?
Yeah, he's got one of the coolest. So, but I'm sure there's ones I'm just forgetting about, not thinking. But the first one that came to mind was Spider-Man.
I can't think of a particular character who but I've always wished. There's been many cases where I was like, I so wish I could freeze time right now. Or the ability to
there's the dude from that Xbox game.
Time Crisis, Time Shift.
Not Time Shift. What's it called?
Or even do you remember is it Max or Chloe from Life is Strange?
That's the butterfly effect thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but she has the power to freeze time, and then she changes. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't do that, but just basically, do you remember that show with the stopwatch? What was it called?
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted that. Like, there's so many social situations that would come in handy. That or maybe one of the many Jedis that have been in video games. I mean, come on, if you could have the Force, come on.
Yeah.
This is a weird one because they're very specific and they're ones I would never put together. Who do you usually choose as your fighter in Super Smash Bros. / Soul Calibur? I think maybe you could go with like which fighter would you choose in any fighting game really, but not all of them. Like who would be your favorite fighting character?
Specifically these two, isn't it?
It is, but they're weird. Okay, yeah, go for those.
For Super Smash Bros, I'd go for Link or Ganondorf,
right?
Or Solid Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those ones. Or actually,
I'm trying to think of the Soul Calibur fighters now.
There was a guy named Killick in. I haven't played many of the Soul Caliburs, but in Soul Calibur 2, there was a guy named Killick who had a staff.
Yeah.
And I always picked him.
Yeah, he was good.
His fight style was cool. And in Super Smash Bros, yeah, probably Link or when they introduced Solid Snake, yeah, but purely just because I liked him. I never learned the fight. I didn't have that game, so I didn't actually learn the fight.
There's one kid in Super Smash Bros who apparently is God, and if you choose him, you're a fucking beast. It's great. It's so funny. It's this little kid in a striped top and a hat and like a little baseball cap. From Soul Calibur, I don't know, like the Mitsuragi maybe.
Mitsuragi, yeah.
He's samurai, yeah.
Yeah, he was cool. Or his counterpart, the female shinobi.
Taki, I think was her name.
Taki, was it? Yeah, she was cool.
I think I could be butchering that. I don't know. I can't really remember, but I think.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played.
Yeah, been a
long
time.
Smash Brothers, I'd choose Kirby.
All right.
Oh, he's actually OP as fuck.
Yep.
This is a very quick one. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
What are you hoping for at the next E3? There's not going to be an E3, is there? We've done
Probably not.
It's just games presentations and stuff. But if they do more shows, I would like to see
some games.
I'm excited to see gameplay for Horizon 2, to see some new features for it. That's what I'm excited to see next.
Yeah. But what I would love them to do is, because if there's not going to be an E3, like a physical show, and it's all done online now, is to try and implement ways where they can, what would be the demos that people would play on the show, is to make them available for like a week for people to download from the store and actually try them out at home.
And then they delete after the week, but everyone can throw up their thoughts on how it went.
Yep.
Yeah. That's an awesome idea.
It's really annoying this generation when there's a game you're interested in, but you don't know if it's actually going to be any good, and there is no demos for them.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying.
Who is your favorite villain from a video game and why?
We've already covered that.
Sephiroth. Sephiroth, yeah.
Sephiroth, yeah. And we did an episode on that, heroes and villains. Definitely worth checking out. What is your... I feel like this is the same... Actually, no. Only for one of us, I think this will be different. What is your favorite game from your childhood? So, for me, it's still Final Fantasy VII.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, Eric.
Infinity Blade.
What? You weren't a child then, were you? Well, you technically were, I suppose, but I think this is going back to, like from primary school days. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, not a child, or child, just child.
Yeah.
Okay. A child.
Don't think about it too much.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh yeah,
that was good fun.
Yeah.
That was good fun.
Are there any games you're really bad at?
Lots.
Fortnite. No, not that. I'm alright at it. Sekiro. I'm fucking shit at Sekiro. That game go fuck itself. There's a fucking card.
Is it the game or you that's the problem?
Both. It doesn't play like the other From Software games. It just doesn't feel like it's the same thing.
Well, I just gotta try out there. There's loads I'm bad at, but those are definitely ones that I'm terrible at. So I like those kind of ones. The Sekiro, Dark Souls, Bloodborne,
Demon Souls.
I'm terrible at those games. Yeah. You on the same page, Adam?
Yep. Also those.
Have you ever seen somebody get really angry when they lose?
Yeah.
Yes. I looked in the mirror.
Yeah, I've definitely seen both you guys get mad, and probably other people, and myself.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's just something that frustrates you so much you can't help it.
Yeah. Okay, no, never mind. No.
What? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the vamp fight in Metal Gear Solid 4. I was punching my leg and almost in fucking tears through anger because of that goddamn fight.
You stop tearing up at games for very different reasons. Am I not
so angry?
What's your favorite game series of all time?
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. I could have said Final Fantasy because there's ones that I absolutely love, but it's just not consistent across the board, whereas Metal Gear Solid is.
Uncharted is good as well.
Yeah, Uncharted is up there too.
I will be different, and I will say Mass Effect.
Nice. Yeah, why not? What's more important, action or story?
I suppose what's more important to you?
Yes.
Because
you personally,
it would absolutely depend on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't say gameplay; it just says action.
Yeah.
And like for instance, Until Dawn is a great game, and Heavy Rain are great games, but they don't really have action in it.
Yeah.
I think I would change that for gameplay or story then. Right? Because action is a misleading word in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I've enjoyed games that don't really have great stories, but I still think story is still the most important thing. Because, Heavy Rain's gameplay isn't exactly amazing, but the story is fantastic, so you kind of just ignore the gameplay.
Yeah.
Or even The Wolf Among Us. Telltale games, Adam, you've complained about the gameplay of that before, but the story to The Wolf Among Us is amazing. So,
story.
I'm gonna say story too. I have definitely put up with pretty lame or sometimes even shitty gameplay if the story is compelling, and then sometimes gameplay has been great, but the story just doesn't hook me, and I just don't continue with it. There's been loads of games like that. So yeah, definitely story. And we've said early on as well that most of the games that we love is when the gameplay serves the story.
Yeah.
So really, then I'm putting the story up before everything anyway. So, is there a game? Is there a game that is considered to be really bad, but is your secret guilty pleasure?
I wouldn't go secret guilty pleasure, but a game that
I know,
I think
that's
was
a weird
actually,
thing.
a game that I thought was pretty good that was absolutely destroyed in terms of reviews was well, actually, I suppose there'd be a few of them. Like I actually thought Devil May Cry 2 was my favorite Devil May Cry, for example.
Yep.
But The Order 1886, I think is the most recent
I actually knew
one
you were going to say that. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Eric?
That's a pretty good one.
Eric, you're gone. You froze.
Oh
Froze?
no!
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Okay.
He's back in the room.
I clicked on the stopwatch. I don't know because again I don't pay attention to a lot of reviews, so I don't actually know which games were bashed and which ones were praised. But I know which ones are praised, but because they're the ones all talked about on the internet. But yeah, it'd have to be something like Devil May Cry 2, Order 1886. Yeah, something like that. I think I'll go Order 1886. That was really good.
There's definitely a few. Again, I wouldn't use the word guilty pleasure because I don't in any way feel guilty about openly liking it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Ninja Theory's Devil May Cry. It's my favorite in the series, and people hate it. I don't know why. I think it's fucking brilliant. Really enjoyed playing it. If you could have any video game character as your best friend, who would it be?
Garrus Vakarian from Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh man, what a bro!
He's the ultimate broski.
He'd be calibrating stuff for you all day long.
It'd be great. And then he just shoots some wine bottles on top of a bridge. Because why not?
Yeah, you have to miss on purpose though to make him feel good. Sorry.
Yeah. What a man. Say a spoiler alert. Jesus.
Pikachu.
I
think that'd be great.
A good one. Yeah, Pikachu's a good one. I don't know. There's plenty you could pick, like where you're like, they'd be really good companion or really good friend. I remember feeling really, really like having a really good time with Tenzin in Uncharted 2, even though I didn't know a word he was saying.
Yeah.
And I thought that was captured so well that I think he'd be a pretty fun companion. And it'd be so cool to learn about a totally different culture. I know very
best friend though.
Best friend, yeah. Maybe the conversations would be a bit one-sided. Show, let us show. Garrus is a good one. I like Garrus. Waka, he'd be a lot of fun. There's loads. I don't know if I could pick one. Otacon, be your best buddy.
No way.
You can watch anime together. Okay. If you could marry any video game character, who would it be? I thought I was already married to Jin Sakai. I don't want to cheat on that dude. That'd be really dishonorable.
Don't know.
Probably between Aerith and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of those two. I'll flip a coin at some point.
Tifa's pretty good. Yeah, don't know actually. Yeah, probably Tifa.
I'm gonna say Tifa as well. Yeah, I taught Yuna at one point, but she's so sorrowful. you know.
Yeah.
Tifa would be up for a bit of crack as well as being really sound, and then also absolutely holding her own.
Yeah, she's really independent, which is
Just
class.
fucking beast, like, you know. But also really caring. She's just a great balance, really, of characteristics. So yeah, Tifa. Would you rather have loads of time to play games but only be able to buy 2 games a year, or be able to buy loads of games but never have much time to play them?
Loads of time with 2 games a year.
Yeah, because you pretty much already live with the second option.
In a way.
Yeah, because like when I think about it, like how many games do you buy a year?
Yeah.
Not a lot, actually. Yeah.
This year, I'm buying more than I would normally, but only because there was actually ones I was genuinely excited for.
Yeah, like I you know, even some of the ones I do buy, I could do without. You know what I mean? I don't actually have to play every game that actually comes out. And generally just be 2 real heavy hitters a year.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy enough just sticking with them too.
Although this year would have been difficult, right? Because imagine I
made some bad decisions.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, Eric. I hear where you're going with it, but all it says is, you can only buy 2 games a year, right? If next year there's only 1 good game, you could buy the other game that came out this year. That, you know what I mean? They're not going to go anywhere. They're still there.
I know, but
I know you missed the hype at the time.
Yeah, if I bought like Final Fantasy 7 and Last of Us Part 2, right, and I was very disappointed by The Last of Us Part 2, and then I have to wait till next year just so I can get Ghost of Tsushima, right, and like Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay,
but there might be a really good game next year that I have to wait till the following year.
So you would rather be able to buy loads of games and never have much time to actually play them, though?
This is a fucking. No, I'll go with the 2. I can live with it, but I'm just saying. At this point, in
I wouldn't be happy.
Like,
but
I wouldn't be happy about it.
I mean,
yeah, there'd be some years, where it sucks, but I
might have a further appreciation for games if I knew that I could only like that. I'm more or less stuck with them for a whole year, like.
Yeah, I would definitely go for the loads of time and only 2 games a year. Not only to play the shit out of those particular games, and because I wouldn't need lots of games that I never finish, but also if I have lots of time on my hands, it means like I have other hobbies, I have other interests, and that means you have more time to do those things too. So, yeah, I would love. Time is a valuable resource. Oh my God, this is a very tough one. In your opinion, what is the fucking hell? What is the worst game of all time that you've played? I actually don't know what I would call the absolute worst that I've played.
Trying to think now if there's anything. See, what's interesting about the games industry is that not much shit ends up on your radar, you know? I mean, there's definitely going to be shit games out there, but you know about it. Yeah. So you stay away from them. So it's going to be like, what's the worst bunch out of pretty damn good games?
Oh, no, hold on. I got one. Transformers.
Oh, yeah, that was
someone
pretty brutal.
bought it for me. That was absolutely terrible, and I did not finish it. I thought it was shite. And then also, the Lost game, which like if you're a fan of Lost, great, like you would be interested in the idea, so that's why any of us would have gotten it. But as a game, it didn't function well, and also it came out at a time when the show wasn't finished, and so the whoever was making the game couldn't answer anything either, and so it didn't go anywhere, and it was limited.
I think that was a Ubisoft game.
But I think Transformers was actually worse, because I think there was at least a character in the Lost game that there was a little bit of mystery. There was something to kind of make you at least play it through. The Transformers game was trash, so that's probably the worst game that I've ever played.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything on like the PS2, PS1 that were brutal. I didn't think much of Driver, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty bad.
Oh, Gran Turismo, the one on the PS3
Gran
that we
Turismo?
got. Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer, that one on PS3 that we got. That was fucking
Rubbish.
shit.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
rubbish.
That was
Yeah.
that was rubbish.
Yeah.
I
At least with Transformers, you can kind of laugh at the bad acting and everything, but with Ridge Racer, there was fucking nothing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing really to grasp onto at all. And question 50, the final question in the 50 questions for every
Ooh.
gamer. Would you give up video games for life and receive $500,000, it says, but we'll go with euro, 500,000 euro in cash, or would you refuse the money?
I actually, you kind of cut out for me at the start there, so I don't know what the...
Oh, apologies. Okay, would you give up video games for life and receive 500,000 euro in cash, or would you refuse the money?
If you used the money, I could probably sell all the games and get more.
No, you can't.
Or I could play the...
There's no
Well,
way that
like
if you sold the games you have, you'd get more than 500,000 euro.
All right. I'll just play the games and learn how to rob a bank, and then I'll get more. All right?
Yeah, I'd
But I would not
refuse the
take-
money.
Yeah.
$500,000's not going to get you very fucking far, and games for life, man.
I know, yeah.
I mean, that's tattooed on my back, bro.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Games for life. Only Square can judge me. I would definitely refuse the money as well. It's not enough to set you up for life. I'd pay off the mortgage. There'd be things like that, but you'd still have to work for life, and now with one less hobby.
Yeah.
And you'd still watch other people enjoy them, and whatever this contract is, you can't. It would suck. Like, you'd have money, but it wouldn't last you forever.
No, it's not
Oh,
even
yeah,
that much. If it was like 500 million, maybe.
Yeah, like that's far more enticing, all right? Yeah.
Hold on. Now, you
Sure.
could say, yes, I'll accept the deal. Take the money, then use the money to buy all your games back. And then just
No.
No. It's
You
not
have to
giving up
give
your
up-
games. It's
you have
actually
to
refusing
give up
to play
video games for life.
forever.
Not the games you have, all games.
I'm just saying, though, they can't force me.
Also, yeah.
Right.
Well,
They,
look,
they,
the rules of the question are the rules.
I
of
know.
the question.
I said no. I said I wouldn't
I'd
take it.
imagine as well, like, you got to pay tax on that money. Also, I'd be very cautious about anyone offering you money for something where it seems like they're getting nothing out of it. That to me says no, don't do it. No matter how much it is, that to me screams something really wrong is going on here. So, but anyway, those are 50 questions for every gamer as answered by us. Those are our take on it. If you've been following along, actually, it'd be awesome to answer some of those questions yourselves. Get in touch with us. Or even if you're watching on YouTube, as you hear a question, I should have said at the start, actually. As you hear one, maybe pop your answer down in the comments as it goes. But there will be a link to this site so that you can look up the questions again if you want. And even if you want to just pick out some of them to say, there's my answer to that one, the ones that you're more interested in. And then the podcast episodes that we mentioned before, feel free to go check them out to hear more discourse on that particular topic. And there were some of those that could become full episodes. Not all of them. Like, there's no way we could have made a full episode out of if you can marry any video game character. It's like, well, let me.
Why not?
Yeah, it's my half hour.
Yeah, you
talk
say
about-
that.
Like what? How do you think your day would go?
Oh yeah, you could break down how your actual wedding day would go with this particular fictional character that doesn't exist. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that's a real healthy way to
Well,
talk
see,
about life.
you say that, but over in Japan they have VR weddings, so you could actually VR marry.
Did they really?
this fake character. Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, you did marry characters in video games.
Yeah, that's true.
Bruh, never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What's the one in Skyrim that you can marry? The Huntress?
A few depends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But you're talking about Ayla. Ayla the
Ayla,
Huntress.
yeah.
Ayla, yeah, that's the one I always married as well. But anyway, yes, that sums up our take on the 50 questions for every gamer. Please do get in touch, and please do follow us on social media and on our YouTube channel for future episodes and discussions. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.